All right. Hello, friends. Here you are with sketchbook number 2. So, as I mentioned before, the first one, going all the way back to college, something like 20 years old, I had not looked through for ages. I was going through some of my files and archives today. So I found I saw these and I was like, yeah, I've done the other sketch tour, so maybe it's worth going all the way back. So that's what we're going to do. I will try to motor through this as quickly as I can. The last one, I think, for book number 1 went quite a while. Well, let's just go right into it, right? Okay, so like I said, this has gone back years. So this is 2001. This is my art instructor from when I was in high school, middle school and high school, Christine O'Brien. She died a couple years ago, unfortunately. She was a fantastic mentor, and that's actually her studiogram. It's interesting that's in there. Working on some sort of logo. More logos. I was working on one for Tufts Wildlife Clinic where I was spending some time volunteering at for a couple years. At the time, this is 2000, 2001. That was interesting. Oh, look, before research, 2005. Is when I made that note. So this is while I'm getting into Higgins Armory Museum and developing the Roman Legionary program. I would not be surprised if I was trying to come up with ideas for visuals, and we won't even talk about how bad that armor is. I'm just going to move on. Great horned owl in foliage, I guess was the idea. Tracing paper. 2001. I think I did that for my sister, Elaine, who graduated from Northeastern. Maybe? I don't really remember now. This is a preliminary idea for what's known as Hunter's Moon. I'll go grab one of those. So this is Hunter's Moon. This is a linoleum block cut, or a lino cut, on masa paper, and then the planet is... or moon, I guess, is colored in red. This was, again, Worcester Art Museum. And so that's the preliminary for that. Oh, look, another Harrier. Still going off of that wood engraving from college. Same size, I think, and everything. I think I was trying to do an update. Planetoids that are exploding or imploding, something like that. There was this textbook on astronomy and about the planets that I think my dad had at my grandmother's house that my brother and I were looking through, and I think I don't even remember what I was describing, but I vividly remember this image of 2 planetoids coming within contact with each other. I think it was supposed to be about gravitational forces or something like that, the birth of the universe or something silly like that. And I was always intrigued by that illustration. More tall ships. This, I believe, is the preliminary for this guy. This is an dry point engraving and soft ground etching I did at Worcester Art Museum. And I use this plate every now and then as a demonstrator of basic intaglio techniques. And I would not be surprised if this is the preliminary of that one. That plate has been reworked dozens of times. There we go. The Higgins Armory Sword Guild started in 1999, and so I was still at college at the time. And then by probably the end of 2000 or into 2001, it was pretty much fully established, and the organization researched and demonstrated sword fighting and other weapons techniques at Higgins Armory, and I was part of the demonstration, well, both the research and the demonstration crew for several years, and that was a ton of fun. We were doing stuff that nobody else was doing at the time. We had people from all over the world come to the museum just to see our demonstrations, and we inspired so many sword guilds and fencing schools and other historical European martial arts, or HEMA, all sorts of clubs. So I was working on ideas for the logos. So those are some of the early ideas. Oh, this is Little Black Spot. This is lyrics from The Police. I felt Sting was very, very visual in his lyrics. Another sci-fi jet. I don't know. More criticisms of the media. So this is, what did I say, 2001? So I think we all know what happened by the fall. Great gray owl and a wolf, I guess, was the idea. I don't know. Working with light. I got asked to do a patriotic, quote-unquote, piece. I didn't really want to do that. Oh, what's this little note? Okay, I know what this is. Hold on. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, I was going through that file and just kind of going through some old stuff and kind of rearranging, trying to make some more space because I'm, always collecting art and trying to find room for everything. Yeah, you never find enough room. Anyway, the sketchbook here is a page, and this is the page that it took out. This is a preliminary work for a piece that I called Embryo. And this is a 2-color lithograph on polyester plate. And that's the end result. And this was done at Worcester Art Museum in one of the printmaking classes. So yeah, Embryo is an interesting piece because I was going both by the song by Pink Floyd called Embryo. And they even got a bunch of notes. I think it was some sort of artist statement that I was working on. For some sort of exhibition, I guess. I actually don't even remember what this was in. And there was an illustration in a high school textbook, history book, on early ideas of science and making babies, where they thought that the sperm had a little tiny embryonic fetus inside of it, and that would, cause the pregnancy and blah, blah, blah. Really archaic stuff for the 19th century. I don't really remember, but I remember that illustration in that book, and so that hit me with the embryo lyrics, and I'm actually going to put this back into the book. Just tuck it right in there, so it's all back together. More Star Wars stuff. More cartoon owls based on that little Westfield State banner cartoon. Oh, look at that. There's Rook. That's another lino cut. I'll grab one of those. So Rook was a lino cut block I did at Worcester Art Museum in one of the printmaking classes. I did have them for sale for a little while, but they never sold. You can see the quality of the lines are just not that good. It's really not that interesting a piece. I printed, as you can see, red, and I also did one of black, going with the whole chess set thing. Another ship idea. So this is another one of those drawings that inspired that ship dry point that you saw earlier. Trying out, I think this is trying out a different kind of drawing method of, I think it's a Conte crayon, a waxy drawing medium. Oh, and there's some more plates for Embryo. I think I might go back and tuck those into where the other guy is at the end of that. The face, that's another lino cut. Yeah, I'll go grab one. Why not? There's the face, another lino cut. Okay, ISIS. I don't remember what that was about. Yeah, it was a thing. These are raptors in a raptor educational program, live raptors. A logo for a guy's birding club down in New Jersey, if I remember right. Around 2001, I was hired to be a artist in, I wouldn't say artist in residence, an artist workshop for an elementary school in Lancaster, Mass. It was like an advanced student group, and they wanted something a little more challenging, if I remember right. So there were the themes of animals using different techniques, and here obviously we have a dolphin. So I'm showing them the shape and how to start fleshing out animals. I also did bear, so this is a large drawing. I think we did that in charcoal. So those are kind of like the litmus test, trying to figure out the ideas. This looks like a multiple layer, multiple color block, reduction block. It's another one of those bears that I was working on. Just kind of working out the shapes as part of the instruction, so I knew what I was doing. Another reduction block based on the Pantheon in Rome, I think is what I was going for. And you can see how terrible newsprint is. It does not last, so that might damage this drawing eventually, but I don't remember what that is. Some more Roman-inspired. Looks like I was kind of designing an idea for an engraved or an etched plate. Cityscape. Going way back to book number 1 with my art instructor Jerry Wise, who did these really incredible, intricate, questioning social values sort of thing. I think the idea was highways that just lead into highways that don't go anywhere. Oh, all right. I didn't know that this was in here. So around this time, I was working for Higgins Armory now and then. I wasn't full-time. During the summer, they had a summer camp, and they asked me to come in and do a armor still life drawing workshop for the kids, and that's what that was about, using a Conte crayon. So my brother Tim went out to California. This is 2002, and I went out there, and he was basically moving back to Massachusetts. Let's just put it at that. And so him and I did the scenic route. We drove all the way back across the country. We stopped in Vegas for a few nights, and that's from our hotel room at Excalibur. We never did take in the night show. No pun intended. The Knights fighting show. We went to go see Medieval Times when we went as a family in like middle school in Florida at Kissimmee once, and of course, that what started me getting more and more into medieval arms and armor, and eventually, of course, led to Higgins in a roundabout way in the Sword Guild. So, but anyway, we never did too much in Vegas. You don't talk about it. Gannett, I was working on, I guess, a cartoon based on a gannet or a gull, I don't know. Some more cheeky coat of arms stuff I was working on. By about 99, 2000, I had decided I was going to adopt Albrecht Dührer's monogram as my own. I'm not the only one who did that. There were tons of artists after Dürer who did that, copying basically his A and then adding their own name. Yeah, I'd forgotten about this. So there's a sword fighting position from these fencing manuals written in the 14 and 1500s called Ox. And I guess I was coming up with a mascot or a logo for the Higgins Sword Guild based on a ox. So it was kind of like a pun. Ideas. Oh, look, more Romans. Terribly inaccurate. Well, no, it's not too bad. I think I got my research down pretty well at that point. Nope. I don't know, I was working on something. I didn't like it. More Harriers. So, I guess I was doing a preliminary. I think I did a drawing for one of the Tufts people at the time. Armor drawing in Higgins. I should probably take note of that and add that to the archive of Higgins drawings I have. Venom. So my brother and I, we were kind of into comics. I wouldn't be surprised if I did this right after the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire came out. I don't know, I guess more comic book people. More Romans. Oh, Hawk wearing a Roman helmet. Gee, how original. Yeah, I think I was still working on the idea for illustrations for Higgins to use in their exhibits. I think that's what a lot of that was. Don't remember what Vineland Distributors is about. So I guess there was a logo or a word logo I was working on for this company. And here's Helmut the dog, the Higgins unofficial mascot, who is now an official mascot for the Higgins Armory collection at the Worcester Art Museum. A little bit of contention because I came up with this idea first, and when everything moved over to the art museum, all of a sudden there's this cartoon Helmut running around. They kind of took it from me, and I didn't get credit for it. But yeah, for the Festival of Ale, one of the most popular events that Higgins ran for years. But I'm not really bitter. I mean, the way they designed Helmut and the way the drawing is used at the art museum, I think they've done that to a level that I only, I guess, thought of when I was coming up with this idea. I don't know. I guess we'll just leave it at that. All right, this is the preliminary for the Golden Eagle etching engraving. And this is the print. So this is 2002, 2003 or so, and I was working on this at Worcester Art Museum in their classes. And this is an etching and engraving. So it's using the etching, which is acid, using engraving, which is a hand tool. This is the same thing that Rembrandt was doing, and they had a Rembrandt show at the time. So this is what started me on the path towards historical printmaking and copying the old masters, or at least their techniques and some of their styles. So there's that guy. There's another drawing for it. Working with sound, I guess. Oh, yep, more of that. I don't know. Maybe I was in a portrait class, I guess, at the art museum. I don't remember. I'm not good at people, so I don't draw them. More ideas for etchings. That's what it looks like. Oh boy, there we go. Cleopatra with a Roman in the background, I guess. Hubba hubba. Whatever. Yeah, I guess we're just doing a thing here. Alright, I had forgotten I had done this. So this is around the time that the Lord of the Rings movies had come out. And I loved the artwork. The design of the outfits, the design of the armor, I thought was just fantastically well done. So I'm taking notes about the different ages. I think the idea was to do a series of drawings of Sauron in the Second Age when he creates the rings. You can even notice here the little eye shape. I was kind of working that in there too. I do have to admit I'm not that much of a fan of the Sauron armor in some sense. I don't know, maybe that's worth another whole other recording. But anyway, yeah, so there we are. There's Sauron instructing the forging of the ring. There we go. I am also a Lord of the Rings nerd, if you haven't figured that out. Though not nearly as horribly nerdy as I am with, like, Star Wars. You know, yeah, some more Harriers. Guy Fawkes, I guess, with an eye patch. Oh, these are ideas for cartoons I had. This guy was like some sort of mage or sorcerer, I don't know, conjurer, I think was the idea. He could, you know, blast magic missiles and shit. Ooh, winged hussars. I don't remember what this was about. Polish hussars from the 1600s. Oh, and Roman cartoons. If you remember one of the other books, probably one right after this one. This is probably the first one that I started ideas for that. Yep, okay, here we go. You know, Cleopatra, or Egyptian lady with the Roman Ida, I guess, something like that. I was thinking of an idea for a poster poking at the whole environmental problem. America's largest minority group. Yeah, so probably good that that didn't go anywhere. I don't need that kind of attention. These are the preliminary. Is the Eyes Have It number 3, Barred Owl. So I was working on this around that time, 2004. Great Owl, Vermont Institute of Natural Sciences up in Keachie, Vermont. Their Vermont Raptor Center is fantastic. And they have a great gray owl, which these are not common in New England. They're extremely rare. And they had a pair of barn owls. They had a harrier, two harriers, which I was thrilled beyond belief to see. A little screech owl doing screech owl, as screech owl does. They had a raven, who is obviously pretty talkative. Oh yeah, more of those Roman cartoons, I guess. I don't know, designs for different prints. Oh, okay, so this is the earliest ideas for Rebecca's Hell, which is an illustration I did for Risa Nelson and her short story, Rebecca's Hell. So this is developing the idea, and then I got the idea for the end result, which was the crows surrounding the piece. And I don't know. Ideas for things. More owls. Oh, so you remember the Sketchbook 3, where I was at Comic-Con and we traded sketchbooks. So this is the other end of that. There we have it. There's the two sketchbooks. So I guess I brought both of them, or maybe this is one of the other years we got together. I honestly don't remember. There's the end of that one. That's book number 2. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, I can keep going with different drawing books and sketchbooks that I have sitting around. You know the deal. Hit the subscribe, drop me a line, or leave a comment. Hit the like button. You know the works. Thanks for watching.